Ladies and gentlemen, I am the next gem of great British wrestling ring announcing, Adam Blackburn, and you are listening to the new Great British podcast, Submit Wrestling Cards, with your hosts, Jack and Kev.
Well, hello and welcome to another episode of the Submit Wrestling Cards podcast / YouTube series videos. We're still not entirely sure, but we're doing them anyway because we love doing it. My name is Jack and I'm here with my legendary co-host. Introduce yourself.
Oh, thanks, Jack. Such a lovely intro. Kevin Williams here. Thanks, Jack. How are you keeping, buddy?
I'm all right. I'm good. Slightly nervous and excited because tomorrow we are going to do something quite fun, aren't we, Kevin? Tell the people.
Yeah. Wales Comic Con tomorrow.
Yeah, that's it.
A few wrestling guests, Jack, and some others for that. So what are you getting signed, my friend?
So I have a custom MOC Papa Shango, which is possibly one of the greatest custom jobs that's ever been commissioned. So I'm going to get him to sign that. And I had a long debate over what color pen to use. And I think I'm going to go for orange pen. I will put some pictures up on the page. Yeah. I have seen him sign his normal Hasbro MOC in orange, and that looks really, really good. So I'm going to get that done. And I'm slightly off topic from wrestling cards. I've got a sealed Halo 3 Xbox game, which I'm going to get the voice of Master Chief Steve Downes to sign. So that's something slightly different there.
Class. Why the hell not? For myself, Jack, I'm going with a Papa Shango Hasbro. Then William Regal's there. So I'm going to get a couple of his done. Daniel Bryan is there, but I don't know. I couldn't quite find anything.
Yeah. I mean, a bit too sort of modern for my likes. I mean, I don't really watch modern wrestling that much anymore. You can't deny he's got a great draw and a great pull.
Great talent. Can't deny that one, can we?
No, not at all. And I don't even know how much his rookie card's going for, but I can't imagine it being cheap. I wasn't even going to bother looking at that one. That's going to be expensive, surely.
Oh, about 100 odd quid, 50 quid for the BBM. There's two, I think. There's a Ring of Honor, which is quite a large card, and that's what put me off. I thought I want a standardized card. Then I was watching on Wrestling Trading Cards or Wrestling with Cards, one of the YouTube channels, and there's a BBM card as well. So if I'd had time, I would have picked that one out, but I didn't know. So go with what we've got, eh?
That's it. Yeah, another rookie on the BBM sets. There's quite a few fall into the BBMs, don't they? It's quite maybe we should look into doing an episode on that sometime, because I'm sure there's quite a few. RVD isn't his rookie on the BBM? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Sabu.
Oh wow.
Ken Shamrock.
Really? You sure he's not? He's not on a UFC. Well, mind you, UFC weren't really that big at that stage, were they? When he was.
No.
Okay, fair enough.
There's quite a few, so we'll have to look into it. But this is it with wrestling cards. You have a look at one or two, and next minute you find hundreds, and it's like, why have I started this?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I don't think the world is ready for when you show them. Who is it? Is it Kevin Nash's rookie card? Is it that one?
Oh my God.
I'm not going to reveal it because it's comically one of the most hilarious rookie cards I think that you were ever going to find. So I'll leave that little gem for you to reveal at a later date. But I don't think anyone's even going to be able to find it, even if they did try and search for it. So yeah, there we are.
It's out there. It's very easy to find. And should we say it's not wrestling?
Yeah, maybe I've said too much there, and taking the fun out of it. But yeah, we'll cover that at some stage in the future. Right. So we put a vote up on the page, didn't we, to do set review? I had one choice and you had another choice. Tell them what your choice was, Kev.
Comic Images 1999 SmackDown set. Very common to find, isn't it? So I thought, I'm going to get the win here, Jack. But obviously,
I mean, it
didn't happen.
Well, that's a good. If we're going to look at, maybe we'll do an episode at some stage about good sets to start with to collect, because that's an easy set to get all hold on. There's some good cards in there, isn't there? There's no doubt about that. But yes, you lost. I am absolutely honourable and magnanimous. Is that the word in victory here?
Yeah.
I chose the 1991 WCW. It's a black border set. It's PWC, isn't it? I always get, it was something like that. I always get the title mixed up as
Yeah, something managed marketing, is it? Is it championship
yeah,
marketing set? Something like that.
something like that. But
Very
it's
cool set.
yeah, it's a very, very good set. So that puts us in the votes as 1-1. So I've won one and you've won one. So we are now level pegging.
Yeah, that's it. We're doing quite well on it. So
Yeah.
next one, I don't know. Did we go wrestler? Did we go image sets again or what? But there's plenty to go at, isn't there? So this 91 set when you won, I thought, well, it's not a bad one to lose against because it's pretty decent. And is there about 100 cards in it? There's a fair few.
Do you know what? There's more than I thought there was. Yeah, so I was very lucky and very fortunate. I picked up this whole set quite cheap, only a few months ago, and I never knew how many cards there were in there to start with. I always knew I wanted to get it, but yeah, there's about 150 or so cards. I'd say 140.
I didn't
realize.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Jeez.
We've got a lot to go through today with this set. So there's a lot there.
Christ. I just charged my iPad off.
So before we go into the set, we haven't really got some news as such, but we've got something that we were talking about on the page the other week, and we obviously we feel quite strongly about it. It's to do with people or persons who are resealing packs to then sell them on as originally sealed packs.
Yeah, it's a hard one to say because obviously we don't know. We're not accusing anyone. We're not saying it's this, that, or the other. But in other sports cards, yourself, Pokemon, football, that people do seal up packs and chuck the shit in.
Yep.
And sell on a seal pack, which it's a bit naughty, really, isn't it? But again, we don't know this is happening, but it's likely that it's happening because it's wrestling and sports cards. So it's going to happen, isn't it? I think
there isn't really any true and surefire way to determine whether or not you feel that a pack has been resealed. Sometimes you can tell from the glue. But on some of the older packs, the glue was pretty shocking. I mean, the 1992 Merlin red and blue packs, they didn't really use that much glue. And the same with the 93 Undertaker set as well. They didn't use much glue on the pack. So it's not actually that difficult to very carefully peel the pack open, check the contents, pull out the good ones, put some crap ones back in it, and then just get Pritt stick and stick it back down and go, oh, there you go, there's another sealed pack. It's not that difficult to do that. And it's very difficult to actually tell if someone has done that when you have the pack in your hand and you open it, because by the time you've ripped it open, you can't really tell.
All of the early sticker packs, I think I've got, I'd say the majority of them. I know I'm missing a 1985 Topps. But I've bought so many that are peeling open, or sometimes you buy 5 or 6 of them, and it's like, oh well, 4 of them are open, so I'll just have to keep this one. Or, but does that drive up the increase for sealed boxes?
Well, I mean, coincidentally enough, here I very recently opened. You can't see it; my camera's being weird, but that's let me.
The WCW Impel, yeah?
Yeah, so the camera's flashing a little bit. I'm not going to fiddle around with it.
Yeah.
So that was a sealed box. And, I'm fairly certain no one's going to go through the pain, because the pain of opening those packs, because it's just the most monotonous, that set. But but someone would have had to have gone through and sealed 36 packs, put them in a box, reattached all of the frayed cardboard for the box, and then vacuum sealed it. You're not doing that. The box cost me like 40 something pounds, which is about $50. You're not doing that with a box of that price. But if you're finding a sticker pack that's on its own sealed worth $30 or $40, all you need to do is buy a couple of packs, pull out the good cards, and you can make your money back, twice over. But yeah,
seller junk.
Yeah, it's unavoidable. There isn't really any ways to tell how, if a pack has been resealed. Sometimes I've opened packs where the glue has bled inside the pack and stuck the cards together. That's a big sign that that's been resealed. Because there is no way that in the manufacturing process they would use that amount of glue that would then go inside the pack. So it doesn't work like that. So that's a big sign. That's a big red flag.
It happened to me with a 1990 set. And with the 1990 set, I think you get 10 cards, but one of them is like an image card of like a logo. So I opened them up. There's 10 cards, but there's no image. It was super glue that had bled onto the cards, and they were all destroyed. But bizarrely, there was like 10 quality cards. It's like the 10 that you want to pick up, and they're all damaged, which it's heartbreaking, really, when that happens.
And you can't tell. I mean, I would, you would have to you'd have to have the pack in your hand, and you'd have to have an original pack that you trusted in the other hand. And you would have to, go very, very close up against like the seals to see whether or not you think the pack itself has been redone. Very difficult to tell sometimes. Some are really good, some are really well done, and I mean well done in that they are close to looking authentic. But it's just it's heartbreaking when you pay that money to find that the pack's been tampered with. It's not good.
No.
Not really much we can do to stop it. There was a sale very recently, which we put on the page as well, for a 1993. It is 93, wasn't it? The Brett set.
Oh, the Brett stick one, the pink one,
yeah.
93, yeah.
There was a sealed pack of that, went on its own for something like £45, which is about $55, and this is just a pack on its own. So this is like 8 stickers or something like that. And literally just before we came on recording here, myself and you were talking, and you made a really good point that I'd completely forgotten about, that only a few weeks ago, someone on eBay was selling an opened Brett
packet,
which we tried to find on eBay to actually show for the episode here today, to say, oh, look, last few weeks, someone sold an open pack, and then all of a sudden this sealed pack pops up that, but we couldn't find the open pack. But I knew it existed because I have seen it. It was there, and I can picture it in my mind. I just didn't have time to find it before we started recording. But
it might not be the case that it is resealed. No. We'll give credit there, and with it being 46 quid, it is pretty much a very hard sticker packet to find.
And I suppose at that price, do we think that we don't know who's won it, by the way, it certainly isn't either of us two, but do you think who has won it, do you think they're going to open the pack, or are they going to keep it because a lot of people collect sealed packs, so possibly
keep it sealed? I would have thought so, because there's nothing in that set which says to me, oh, it's worth opening. Like, it's not like really. All Stars 82, is it? So
no, and I think even the full set of 93 stickers, I mean, there's quite a few in the set, but even a full set's probably 150, 200 quid, something like that. So it's not, it's not a really, really hard, a really expensive set. It's a hard set to get, but it's not like a massively expensive set. So, yeah. So keep your wits about you. We can't offer you really any advice other than just go with your gut, because we get stung all the time by it. Nothing we can really advise. So sorry.
That's life, man. It happens in all walks of life, isn't it? So
we've tried to help. What we actually haven't given anyone any advice here, apart from just saying, like, look at the pack. We've not actually said anything useful apart from this is what we were talking about the other day, and this is what we think.
My advice is ask Squared Circle podcast. get the Square Circle relics, and guys know everything. Just go and pester Jamie.
Send it to them, and they can assess it, and then they'll put it in a little like certificate for you and send it back. This has been approved. Oh dear. Right. So
we've got to meet these guys tomorrow. You know that, don't you?
Oh, I know. Well, they won't see this. They'll see this next week.
My God, yeah.
Once we've actually met them, yeah. Right. So let's have a look through the set. So this is from 1991. Now, bear in mind that box actually that I just showed you is the same year as this set that we're going to go through. And the quality of the cards and the pictures is worlds different. Okay, the Impel set, I always think is one of the cheapest sets still to buy, one of the easiest sets to complete, and I don't think it's a particularly great quality set. It's a fun set, I will say that, but it's not one of the better sets. So let's have a look at the WCW 1991 championship set.
There you go.
Right.
Wow.
So first page. Now, again, there's lots of these, so we're going to try and flick through them quite quickly, and we'll pick out a few choice cards as we go through. You've got all your normal contenders: Sting, Flair, Luger, Anderson, Freebird, Steiners, Zenk, Pillman. They're all there. Okay, so we're not missing any real any superstars.
What do you make of the design of the card, Jack? For me, the black and the gold stands out.
Awesome. Yeah.
Why someone hasn't recaptured this image? Well, like Major Wrestling Figure Podcast, why haven't they done that? It's like, or even AEW to a degree, have their own little brand of it. WWE, recapture it, make it good again. But again, you could have had like a white background with black stars, red with blue. It's absolutely brilliant, isn't it? So some of the images, I will say, are questionable, but that's every card set, isn't it? So.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. And I think there are more iconic pictures that they used in this set than the majority of any of the other WCW sets. I mean, even Saturday Night, Saturday Night. What's that?
The WCW show.
Yeah. Even some of the pictures in
the main event.
Yeah, that's it. Main event Saturday night.
Main event.
Even some of the pictures in there are good, and there are some real good ones. But I think this set here that we're going to look through now has got some absolutely just amazing pictures. The first one that draws my eye, right in the middle, is the Freebirds walking down from the board entrance behind them. Yep, with the fireworks going off. I think for flamboyancy, which is something that WCW at the time was pretty good for, Freebirds right up there. They absolutely smashed it. The big hair, the big outfits, the big entrances. I mean, they're up against people like Flair and Sting, and already on this first page of the binder here, you've got Flair in a very bright red feathered entrance gear, and Sting in his big robe. So.
But with Ric Flair there, the lights are shining as well, which gives it that little bit more of a twinkle. Pretty decent.
Yeah, and again, going back to the design of the cards, the black, the gold, gold is always going to give thoughts of sort of elite and kind of
champions.
Regal, champions, that kind of thing. So to have it, the majority of the background of these pictures is going to be black. So it kind of fits well with black gold. It works really well.
And the downside to this is, how hard black cards are to keep.
Now I am fortunate. This set here was near immaculate when I got it, and it went straight into binders. But they, absolutely, black cards, always going to white around the edges, and they're going to fray, and it's going to be really noticeable, and it's really going to annoy you. So it's really hard to get these ones, and the SummerSlam 92 ones that are also black, it's really hard to get them in good condition. So, yeah.
Next ones, who have we got? Brian Pillman stands out for me. Just love that guy around this time.
Yeah.
Four Horsemen, there's loads there, isn't there?
Yeah, there's some good pictures here. I mean, you've got a couple with Sid Vicious in, who was a great, a big draw at that stage, and a great picture top left of him in the in that torture rack. I've just got images of that RoboCop scene again with him in the cage, and WCW made some very, very weird choices with some of that stuff. We've also got on this page here, there's a contender for a rookie card, and who am I talking about here? Who am I looking at?
Jim Ross. It's got to be Jim Ross, hasn't it?
Absolutely.
Definitely one of his early ones. In fact, I would go with that being his rookie one. I quite like that one. Then you got Barry Windham. I don't think, they had Barry Windham, the 1990 classic set.
Yeah.
Some there of Ron Simmons. Sid Vicious, that's a rookie.
You sure?
Thinking back. Yeah, 1991. You've got the Merlin WWF one from the same year and this one. So he has about 15 rookies, maybe 20 rookies from 1991.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, yeah, there you are. That's a pretty strong contender there.
Quite a big draw as well. Think of WrestleMania 8. He went up against Hogan.
Yeah.
You know, then come back 96, Psycho Sid, had the WWF belt. Top draw in WCW. Just a shame that I wouldn't say it didn't work out for him, but he was next level material. He just didn't go to the next level for me. You wouldn't put him in your top 10, would you?
No, and I think I completely understand where you're coming from there. It's yes, he was champion on both sides.
Right.
I actually completely agree. I wouldn't put him top 10. Top 20, he'd be sort of like maybe between 15 and 20.
Yeah.
But even then, that would be a strong argument for him to have to be in my top 20. So, but yeah, no, I completely agree with that. Completely agree.
Oh, next lot. Sid again. I like the Sting one there, middle left.
Yeah, it's not, you're thinking if you're gonna looking with the captions underneath, the new champion, he's obviously just come out of a match. He's clearly just won the belt. So it's almost like stating a point in time. He's literally just won it. The new champion, here he is. And look at how hard he's fought. The war paint has all rubbed off and things like that. So it's a good one. What we've got Arn Anderson as the world TV champion.
World TV champion, yeah.
Yeah.
Bottom right, yeah. Would that be NWA world TV champion or?
Well, there was
I imagine it. Oh.
Yeah, there was a weird overlap. Yeah, NWA, WCW, it was all a bit of a strange one, wasn't it? Between who was what, where, and why. Even the figures didn't know what they were doing because Galoob just started printing WCW and NWA on them.
Who's the rookie on that one, Jack?
Oh, I'd love to say Paul E. But
I'm sure
right?
it is.
Yeah,
I think so.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I'm thinking there's some from this one. I don't know if the Impel set had some. I don't think they did, but I know in the 92 set they did have Paulie Dangerous. But for me, this
in the Impel set, there is a Paulie in that. Yeah, there is that. Yeah. Because I always thought that was his rookie, but both of them. This is the problem with rookie sometimes is we don't know the actual date the cards were actually released in the year, so it's always difficult to find out.
The next thing is then, what's his go-to card? So you can have a rookie all you want, but it's a go-to card that gets your attention.
Yeah.
And you know what I would say his go-to card is? The WWE 2002 Royal Rumble Flair card.
Oh, the Flair. Okay. Yeah. Well, there's some huge cards in that, isn't there?
Yeah.
Surprisingly
underpriced, undervalued, though. I will say that.
Yeah.
Think of Paul Heyman. He ran ECW, not just like a small organization, a global organization. When you think.
Yes, and again, we've mentioned this before, and we have seen a couple of cards from Michael Hayes on here, where there is one there in the middle with him along with Garvin. Yeah. In the background of what's been going on with wrestling over the past sort of 15, 20 years, Michael Hayes, huge impact, huge. Yeah. One of the main sort of drivers of modern wrestling as we know it today.
Still doing his bit as well. He was at Clash at the Castle WWE event.
Oh,
He was at the back. Yeah, he's doing his bit there. Yeah. So he's still there giving people advice, telling them what to do and how to do it.
That's good.
The guy must be 70 years old or something, and he still has an impact.
Yeah, he can't be a young chicken anymore. He's still got to be going.
Very true.
Got a couple of jobbers. Yeah, we've got Terry Taylor, Ricky Morton, Tommy Rich.
Can't say that about Terry Taylor.
I was looking at Dutch, but I was like, no, he's not a jobber. No. But what I mean with that is that if you weren't a huge WCW fan at the time, you probably didn't know some of those mid cards. You probably knew the big draws, but the mid cards you probably weren't too familiar with. And this was at an era when tag teams were really starting to explode, weren't they? So people recognized the tag teams. This is before Hollywood Blondes even hit this. Well, they were kind of just starting to work, weren't they? Because Austin's rookie is 91, 92. So okay.
The old camera motion that they used to give.
Yeah.
Great tag team, man. Next, Ric Flair, look at that top right, short hair, right in the middle of a match. That's brilliant Ric Flair stuff again.
Is he stood? Was that Sid behind him? I can't quite see. Let's see if I can
Yeah, I
zoom
think it
in a
is
little bit.
Sid. Yeah, yeah. I think it is Sid.
Yeah, it is. There we are.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Who's Brian Pillman up against? God knows. Could be Tommy Rich or someone.
Yeah, not sure.
It's not Stunning Steve Austin, and surprisingly, Stunning Steve Austin, Cactus Jack, and Dustin Rhodes are missing from the set.
Now that is a really, really good point, and I didn't even think of that. They are missing from this set. That's pretty odd, considering. I mean, Euroflash 92 has Cactus Jack within one of like the first 3 stickers of the whole set. Austin,
another one,
yeah,
Diamond Stud, Razor Ramon,
yeah.
Four absolute big guys of wrestling, not included.
This set would have been absolutely mind blowing if they had cards in this set. If they had their rookies in here, this set would be like gold dust.
I like what you did there, Jack.
Well, you see what I did there. You see what that was that was a little wrestling joke, little wrestling pun.
Yeah, that's it. I like the Sting middle left.
Yeah, great promo.
It's like a Warrior Hogan image.
Well, very
We've
much
got
so.
The muscles as well, yeah.
Yeah, very much probably influenced with Warrior because in their early days they did literally do lots of their stuff together. Yeah, so and what else have we got? Oh, and again, we've got Sting in that robe top left in the black and pink robe. So,
oh yeah,
this was one of the UK exclusive galoobs, which Sting did do quite a lot of entrances with that attire, which does make a bit of sense to put him in.
Where he has the pose of his hands above his head. And
that's it. Yeah. It's quite a hard figure to get in good condition. But as what Sting actually wore at the time, it works. It matches. You'll see pictures here. I mean, there's one bottom right of Sting in the black trousers. We've already seen him in the blue trousers, the Surfer Sting, and the orange trousers or peach or whatever color you want to call them. That's
very good.
Oh, we've got a Paulie Dangerously one there, sat there looking quite bemused. We'll come back to that one. Yeah, quite camp. Yeah.
El Gigante, that's a nice one.
Yes, yeah. So that's his first appearance in this set. These are in order as well, by the way. So they are lined up. Although I think, hang on a minute, that Sid Vicious has already appeared.
Ooh,
have I got a duplicate? Oh, I have. Oh, wow! I've just spotted that. That needs to be addressed. So just ignore this one here. Well, I don't know if that's the right one. I'll have to investigate that in a bit. So who else have we got?
Just for the record, Jack, we'll put an image of the correct card just in case it is wrong. I'm allowed to him. So.
Well, I'll put a disclaimer in, like in the this is future Jack talking to previous Jack.
it could actually be that way. You just don't know. I'll have to check my set now.
I'll have to have a little look. That's I've never spotted that. Well, anything else on? We got Freebirds, Flying Brian, Ric Flair in again a very flamboyant attire there. Lex presses Rick 2, so that's the second version. Okay, let's have another look. Right.
Yeah.
We've got another El Gigante.
Massive.
Oh, now that's
that's a good show.
Yeah, now this is a contender here for like three legends: Sting, Jim Ross, and Ric Flair, all in one photo. Could have done with just having it as one card, to be honest. This one's a little bit redundant, top right, because you can't see Jim Ross's face. Could have just stuck with this one, to be honest with you. But
that would look really nice signed up, wouldn't it?
Yeah, gosh, if you had all 3 of those signed, wow, that'd be amazing. But that's another point with these darker cards. They're hard to get signed so that they pop out. It's hard to find colors that would make that kind of really pop. But and great picture there of Jimmy Garvin. I don't know what he was on when that picture was taken, but it looks like he's having a very, very fun time, doesn't it?
Pure rocker there.
Yeah, certainly enjoying himself. Right, next line, and let's have a look.
Z-Man, Tom Zink, that's a cool one because that to me it resembles the Gloob figures as well. You know, the backing card that he's got, and that image of him was always on it.
Yes, yeah, and a great picture there of the that's the War Games cage, isn't it? Or is it just they use that cage for all kinds of stuff? Yeah, huge cage they used. I don't quite know why they made it so big, but they did.
Missy Hyatt.
Yeah, Missy Hyatt there, down there, yeah. Bobby
Eaton, isn't it?
Yeah,
Beautiful
that was
Bobby
Eaton.
Heenan.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I was going to say Heenan then. I was like, no, that's the wrong Bobby.
Yeah.
So at this point, Ric Flair was only 6-time world champion. I don't know how many did he end on. What was it, like 13 or something? He ended on something crazy like that.
16, I think.
I don't know. That's crazy. 16.
Something crazy. Crazy.
Next
shot.
Yeah.
Oh, which is your favorite from that lot?
Well, there's a few here. So we've got another dupe. This is a different picture, but again, this is of the new champion. So yeah, we've got a bit of a duplicate here. So this Sting picture in the top left of the new champion, with him holding the belt, it's a slightly different picture. Which now, this is a bit weird because at the bottom down here, you see Lex presses Rick 3, right? So they've got a numbering convention here. If they're seeing a duplicate card, they'll put a 1 or a 2 or a 3 next to it. So why have they not got the new champion 2 against that one?
That is interesting.
Numbering conventions work if you stick with the numbers. If you don't stick with the numbers, then it's completely pointless. You might as well just not implement it at all.
Or even better, just have a different wrestler on that image.
Yeah, it could do. Yeah, absolutely. You know, maybe we should make our own. Put them in the set.
Yeah, Jesse Ventura could have gone on that card, or I'm sure they could have found someone. I'm sure Terry Funk was with the company at that time, and so many others, isn't there? So,
oh gosh, well, there's quite a lot going on this single page. So let's just talk very quickly about some of the more boring ones here. Barry Windham just standing around doing nothing. Lex presses Rick 3. Right, we've seen it. That's the third time. No one cares. Paulie Dangerously still on the phone. That's all he ever does, and that's all he ever did. Right.
Big phone bill before mobiles as well. Really.
Oh yeah. Who's he actually talking to? Like, who's he phoning? He's probably speaking to Ted Turner. Right. So we've got some sort of party going on up here. Let's zoom in a little bit here. It just says celebration. Yeah.
So he's won the belt, hasn't he? And
yeah,
that's where the images are coming from.
Yeah, makes sense.
It gives quite a story, doesn't it? Rather than just trading cards. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
See that.
We've then got USA Sting. So that's just him in his USA attire. Pretty good attire. Yeah. I mean, that's pretty well, you know, it's pretty clear what it is. You're not getting confused over what that is. Yeah. Right.
Let's get busy. That's a cool Ric Flair, Sting card.
What belt is that? So he's got 2 different belts on 2 different cards here.
That is definitely an NWA title.
Right. Okay. And then he's injured. How's he been injured? Champion. Who's done that? Why is he injured? Who's done? I'm not sure.
Fell over drunk.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, from all the beer. And then Courage of a Champion. What's is that him? Is that after he's been injured? Was he then? Yeah. Doesn't make any sense. Not sure.
I can't remember the storyline. I was 6 at the time. So.
I've just flipped there.
Oh, there we go. As I say.
Yeah, that's one we've already seen. Right, on to the next one. So,
Z-Man World Tag Team Champions, which is Doom, starting at the bottom, bizarrely. Missy Hyatt, El Gigante, Rick goes too far. Lex wins the title.
Yeah,
and what the top ones? Yeah,
that's another NWA one. Yeah,
yeah. Top ones do it for me. Love that Lex Luger middle pose, US Heavyweight Champion.
Yeah, that is one of the standout cards of this set. Ignore my finger there if you like, it's only because I had to flatten the page down to take the photo. Yeah, one of the great cards of this set. And I think it's a real contrast because the set's quite dark. There's an awful lot of like these in-ring shots, which are great, but it means the background's just black and dark. So when you get pictures like of the one down here, like the Z-Man and Doom and, Teddy Long and, when they've got a colored background behind them, it makes them pop out quite well. And I think that's a really, really strong card for Lex in general as well. It's a good card for him.
Probably his best card, if you're asking me, because I don't remember any, I wouldn't say decent ones, but ones that stood out with WWE and later
No,
again with WCW. So
yeah, it's a good
that's
shout.
really a great card, man.
Yeah, yeah, it's a good shout. I mean, just trying to think of any others from myself. There wasn't when they tried to push him as the Lex Express in WF and it failed miserably. I don't like any of those cards or stickers. I think they look terrible. The Narcissist didn't work too well. Again, wasn't really for me. Wasn't really interested. But yes, it's a good card. I mentioned earlier about the Galoob figures using certain attires for some of the UK exclusive figures. So we know El Gigante
Yeah,
had
that's a
his
cool.
he was a UK exclusive figure. Barry Windham, Pillman, and then Lex in this robe attire. But I kind of understand. I mean, Wyndham in blue is a weird one because Wyndham was always in black. I don't think I ever
Yeah.
really saw him in blue. And then this Lex in the robe with the chain. I mean, we know how rare it is and how difficult it is to find with the chain. Yeah, let's just get over that for a second. But for them to sit down with Galoob and say, we want a line of UK exclusive figures, and they go, we'll make this one. It must have been so incredibly difficult to make the mold for the figure that it would have almost have seemed not worth doing.
Yeah.
And then put a chain on it.
Yeah. Think about the volume that you're going to sell. No more than 10,000, would you say?
No, it can't be more than that. Yeah.
Even if it's 30,000, it's not a lot for a toy. So to make that many for that figure, and I know someone who's got one.
Yeah, I know. I wonder who
And
that
it's
is.
yeah, it's really good.
But
I think
what
they should let me have it. It's
yeah.
really one of the best WCW figures ever made. Yeah.
But what makes it even weirder, which is again this is just going into a bit of a figure talk here. The bio on the back of the figure isn't even a photo of Lex. It's a photo of a different Lex figure, the prototype of the figure that they made.
Is
So
it?
yeah, it's not
Wow.
the actual Lex figure of him in the robe. It's like a hand mold of his head of the figure on the bio,
Wow.
and it's the only time they ever did that. It's so the figure itself just baffles me how weird and silly it is. But this is the only existence of a picture in a card of Lex in that robe.
Image, yeah. Yeah.
There isn't any others. So it's so obscure, it's so weird, it's so quirky that it's almost irrelevant to put in a set and to make a figure of. It baffles me. Baffles me.
Brilliant though. Absolute
Right.
class.
Moving to the next ones. What have we got? Well, there's not really much on here. What's that say on
Flying Brian, a nice one.
Where are we? Oh yes, yeah, tiger
Left.
print. Yeah,
Yeah.
tiger print pants there.
That with Brian Pillman, I was trying to check out his rookie card, and I believe it's an American football one from 1986-87.
Right.
And I believe they're like rocking or shit, really, and very hard to pick up, mate. So Father Christmas might fetch you on one day, but I'm not finding one anytime soon.
No. Yeah, that sounds like it's going to be a tough one. Now I made a comment a few months ago on the Impel set or on the Empire set about the Teddy Long cards where you've got him in literally walking down to the ring,
shot, yeah.
and then the next picture is him just taking another step, and a completely pointless picture. I want to stake the claim now to one of the most irrelevant wrestling cards to ever exist is Tony in front of a Chicago building.
It looks like a weatherman or a news reporter. Actually, thinking about it, it could even make it worse. This could be his rookie card. I think it is. I don't remember WF making anything. What is that?
So
we need to get on to tell you about this one.
For those that if you are listening to this and not watching it, what I've just read there is the title of the card, and it is exactly as I've said. It's Tony stood in front of a block of flats, holding a mic, doing some like location report, like a weatherman, Nothing to do with wrestling at all. I mean, it could be anyone stood in front of. Why that block of flats? Why? It just completely baffles me. Yeah, complete.
There is a term for that. Shocking. Shocking card.
Absolutely useless card. You could have had Steve Austin in there. You could have had Cactus Jack in there. No, you've got Tony stood in front of
Shivani.
in front of a block of flats for whatever reason. I just wanted to double check there. There's a Steiner's card here. And Rick's got a sign around him hanging off his neck. It just says Sting's Revenge on it. I'm not sure what that storyline was. I assume they were beefing about some territories or something. I've no idea.
Brutal, as you do.
But yeah, of course. Yeah, probably fighting.
That Shivani card's got me. Yeah.
It's still so crap at it.
You know what? I just got my phone out here. I'm just having a quick search. Tony Schiavone rookie card. And obviously got AEW, but I actually think it could be his first card. Imagine if that was his only card as well.
Oh,
showing the grandkids that one. It's like, yeah, I was a wrestler. Look, I've got this card. Like, you sure, Grandad? It's like...
I wonder if he even knows it exists, because this set wasn't massively popular.
No,
like it wasn't.
This card needs some credit. You know this. You know what my wrestling card Wednesday is?
See if we can tag him on Twitter and say, do you know this card exists? This absolutely useless card of you.
Yes, I've had so many messages and emails.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Leave me alone. I just want to sit in a corner and cry.
Cost me 4 wives, that one.
So last two cards in the set. Oddly, it's a don't know why they did it like that, but yeah, last two cards. So Sting and Doom are the final two cards. Sting doing some sort of over hip toss on someone, don't know who that is.
On the concrete.
Yeah, on the concrete floor, and then Doom doing some sort of entrance again with a TBS logo station for the channel in the back. So don't really see that very often. No. And for those that are keen eye viewers here, there are some Duchess sealed cards there that were on the same page as that.
That's it.
There is one final picture just to show you what the back of the cards look like. Slightly odd, really. Well, I don't. Well,
look like business cards, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, they don't really give you any kind of like sense of action or fun. They're very surgical, very clinical. So it's just it's a gold border and a white sort of background with a black and white picture of whoever it is. Here I've got an example of Sting and Ric Flair, a few statistics and a bio, which I'm not going to read because the bios are always just ridiculous. Yeah, just kind of boring, really. That's the back of the cards. There's nothing to really shout about.
Sorry, kids. It's Christmas is cancelled. That's it.
Yeah, we've spent all the money on the printing on the front of the card. The back of the cards are just going to have to look terrible now. But yeah, there we go. So that is the whole set. There we are.
Caboodle. The bing bang caboodle. That's everything covered.
So now what we'll do, I've already had a bit of a, I think out of all the cards, my favorite card is the Lex in the robe, which I've mentioned just because of how obscure it is. Let's have a quick run through, only very quick, some of the cards you've picked out here, Kev, in no particular order. We have...
we've covered that, haven't we? The Lex card stands out a mile for me.
Yes.
I'd love to see it signed up. Imagine getting that in a green or a red signed up. I think it would just make it explode, wouldn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, really good.
Sid.
Yep.
Early Sid, that pose that he used to do. You could have had that in like a pink attire or any other attire that he used to have, but great WCW pose.
Yeah. So it's not really a pose you would know him to do. So I think it makes it quite unique. It's not really the sort of thing he was always being very aggressive and brash, and this kind of pose here, sort of on one knee, is almost like trying to, I don't know, either play possum or pretend to be, worshipping someone or something like that. It's not really the sort of thing for his character, is it? Yeah,
he used to do it quite a lot in WCW, but when he got to WWF, I think he dropped it. He must have been told to.
Okay.
He used to drop to one knee and say, "I'm the ruler of the world." So.
Ah, right. Okay, that's probably why I'm thinking this is sort of quite rare for him to do, because my only real memories of him is when he was in WF when he came over.
Yeah, if you look at the glue figure with the one where he's got the hands out, it's very similar.
Yes,
So
yeah.
obviously they couldn't do him kneeling, but they've just done him standing up with the hands out.
That makes sense. Right.
Yeah,
Okay. Well, look at that. It's knowledge.
very, very, very Galoob based, aren't they? That era,
Yes.
90.
Yeah, yeah.
That one. I mean, Ultimate Warrior, Hulk Hogan mixed into one, and what do you get? Sting.
Yeah. Yeah. It was kind of again filled that gap of the everyman's hero, didn't he? And it was
Definitely.
it's a great gimmick. Even when he went over to sort of NWO Crow Sting, he had such a draw that people just still followed him, even when he tried to be a
Yeah.
heel. In that, it didn't.
Mm.
If you're always fighting the bad guys, it doesn't matter how bad he walked around with a bat and he hit people with bats, and people still
Yeah.
loved him. Just,
Yeah.
yeah, we'll allow it.
He
'Cause
went
it's
against the
Sting.
grain, though, didn't he? He went against the grain, and people loved that. He was against NWO when NWO was cool, and he was
Mm.
our champion.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah, very good.
Ric Flair, look at that.
Yeah,
6-time champion, big gold.
yeah,
Says everything about the man.
yeah. Great
Underrated
card.
card for me.
Yeah, absolutely
Mm.
fantastic card. The belt really pops against the sort of the gold stars around the edge. I think with Ric Flair, you're always, if you've got a situation where he's had some promo shots done. I mean, he must take sort of 6 or 7 outfits to some of these promo shots, because
Yeah.
there's so many pictures of him in ridiculous clothes that you've got to think he must have wardrobes and wardrobes of these outfits, and he pulls them off. That's the great part of it, is that he's able to wear them and it looks, it fits him.
You will never get another Ric Flair. That is how to put it, Jack. There's only one Ric Flair. There's only one Hogan. There's only one Bret Hart. There's only one Virgil. There's only one HBK. You can't.
Anyone's Skinner.
You can't recreate gold like that, can you? It's just the man.
No, I know what you mean. Right.
Poorly dangerous.
We kind of deliberately skipped over this when we were going through the set, but yeah, one of my favorite cards of this set, I think. Yeah, really good card.
Doesn't get appreciated in the card world at all. Poorly dangerous. 91 WCW stuff. Why? Think about it. The man's a genius.
Yeah.
ECW.
Yeah.
I was buying ECW merchandise in the late 90s in the UK. What's that telling you? He ran a global business. He's a wrestling genius. Look what he's done with WWE. Still doing with WWE. 35 years in the business. And that you could buy from Canada for £2.
Oh, it's a dirt cheap card. Yeah, absolutely. And it's a great. If you think of how his persona on screen is now, this very brash, aggressive, very obnoxious manager. And again, is that fueled because he's got Brock stood behind him, and that's almost Brock's persona as well. His persona here was almost a very energetic
Wall Street guy, wheeler dealer.
Yeah, almost kind of clumsy, almost kind of like slapstick, that you expected him to be the one that would like trip over his own wrestler that would then lose the belt because he fell over or something. You would expect it to happen. But he pulled it off, and a great card, great image, looking confused, pointing the other way, phone in hand, doesn't know what's going on. Yeah, great picture.
That's 4 horsemen. Look at that.
Yeah.
You don't have to say anything about that.
So one question I've got when I did see this card, when I saw this card, when I got the set so many months ago, Sid wasn't the original in there.
I don't think he was. I don't think so. I'm
so
just trying
to
look who it was.
It was definitely Wyndham, Arn, Flair, and then there was someone else, and I keep trying to remember, but I know it weren't Sid.
Tully Blanchard.
There we go.
That's what it's got here, yeah.
Okay, yeah,
so,
makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, Ollie Anderson just looking over on Twitter now, on Google.
Yeah, okay.
But again, I remember Pillman being involved, and later on, like Benoit. And
I remember Benoit being in there, yeah.
Not a bad 4 to pick from, hey?
No, no. I mean, it's some real good wrestling stock, wasn't it? Really, that was the whole point. Was that it was the legacy of if you made it into the Four Horsemen, it was like making it. Well, it wasn't like making it into the NWO because they just let everyone in, didn't they? But
there though, look at the ring attires and think of WCW glue wrestling figures as well. You could make Ric Flair had the blue tights on. Arn was the same. Sid the same, and Barry Windham.
Yeah, it's almost like
isn't it?
It's almost like they've picked that picture and then made the four figures from them for the US releases, haven't they? Yeah,
wouldn't surprise me.
No,
look at that. Ron Simmons, he was always bigger in WCW, I thought, and definitely worthy of the championship in '92. Wrestling legend who doesn't get enough credit.
Yeah, and again.
Similar with Pillman. I think he had a American football card as well.
Yes,
which was earlier.
Yeah, I remember reading or seeing bits about him being in playing football before. But yeah, it's another one that sort of flies under the radar, and it's a shame that there were some people that had such great talent, and for whatever reason, their face didn't fit, or they'd rubbed someone up the wrong way, or whatever it may be, and they just never got the big breaks, but they still drew the crowds.
Great champion, Ron Simmons.
Yeah. Good guy, good wrestler. Yeah, should deserve more credit.
Is this my final card, or
no? You got one more after this.
Damn, I wanted to save this for the last. Look at it. Take a look at that, man. Like you've got Rick Steiner half asleep.
Yeah, I was going to say, what's he doing? Is he staring at the back of the dog's head? What's going on here?
Scott Steiner, but 91 Steiners are the best tag team in the world, I think, at the time.
Yeah, I mean, these were really now. I mentioned before, sort of tag teams really blowing up and being really popular. These were the ultimate babyface tag teams.
Very good.
Yeah, I think even if you didn't watch that much WCW, you were still a Steiner Brothers fan. That's just how it was.
I agree with that, mate.
Yeah.
And when they come to WF, I was a little bit disappointed because it didn't quite have that energy, that kind of freedom, if you like, to be the Steiner Brothers. But look at the WCW stuff on the next level, man.
Oh,
really
gosh,
good.
Yeah. And then that's your last one, I think. 09.
Yeah,
that's it.
Paul Heyman, finish on that guy. This set needs more credit.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, another picture of sort of you can see this the sort of obnoxious, selfish kind of character coming through on the card. I don't know who he's shouting at. But yeah, again, it's you think of you have to be quite an exceptional manager to get cards in a set full of wrestlers if you're not a wrestler manager, if you see what I mean.
Very true.
Yeah. So, Teddy Long got a couple of cards in here. Okay, yeah, great. Fair enough. But Missy Hyatt, did she manage, or was she just like
she had a couple.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just trying to think who she managed, but I can't remember. But I mean, she's no Sunny, so that's just a horrible conclusion for that particular saga of somebody's repertoire and life. But no, to be a manager only and still have cards in a set full of wrestlers, it's like, if you were picking, if you were making like a Premier League football sticker set where you didn't have every single player of every single team and every single coach and manager in there, to have like, you're thinking top tier managers like Jurgen Klopp being, one of the top managers within football. I'm talking English football here. Sorry, American fans. He would almost be destined to have a card because he's famous.
He is the man. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So you have to be top tier to get a card in that respect.
Yeah.
So yeah, there we are. That's
not a bad card to include. Yeah.
No, that's it. That's the 1991 Championship WCW black set or gold star set. I'm sure there's a P and a W somewhere in this set. I can't remember. I get confused.
Championship Marketing, isn't it? I think they're called Championship Marketing. Very
I'll
cool
s-
set.
I'll take your word on that one, and I'll absolutely agree with you because you always know more. So, and that came out really obnoxious there. That wasn't the case at all. That was genuine. You do always know more.
Got
Yeah.
a sad, sheltered life, I'm afraid, Jack.
No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. We're
Yeah.
providing entertainment for lots of people here,
Well,
and
that's what it's about,
education.
isn't it?
And education.
God, tell you. Get
Right.
me on the curriculum.
Yeah,
Have
that's
these kids carded up in weeks.
Tell you what, should we try and apply for mastermind and have this as like specialist subject, like wrestling cards?
I would still fail.
Yeah.
I would.
Maybe we should try and do
dunno,
that.
mate.
Maybe we should write write a couple of quiz questions and see if anyone can answer them. See if we can do that. Oh well,
Get on
just
it.
I had flash ideas in the pan and whatever. Okay, cool. So there we are. That's the set. I love it. I think it's a great set. I'm really happy that I've got it. Really hard to find in full. So apologies if you are hunting it because it does suck. I was after it for a long time.
There you go. And it came along just like a bus.
It
You
did.
see one and another one's there the week after, isn't it?
Yeah, it was actually it was spelt wrong on eBay. Oh, that's why I got it so cheap as well.
Yeah.
So that was a bit of a win, unfortunately, for myself. I kept that one very quiet and was really happy when it finished. So
Take that, buddy. 1-0. Have that.
absolutely
In the bag.
Well, there we go. Kevin, I will see you tomorrow in person when we land at Telford for Wales Comic Con, and we will upload. We're going to do some recordings. Well, our audience here will probably be watching this once we've actually come back from Telford in a week or so's time. But we're going to do some site recordings and see if we can get a couple of interviews with some people. See if we can stitch them together. So there we are.
Yes. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Submit Wrestling Cards. Goodbye from me, Kevin Williams. Over to you, Jack.
Absolutely. Goodbye from me as well. Have a good evening and good day and good morning whenever you're listening. Thank you for your time, and we will see you soon. And that about wraps it up for another edition of the Submit Wrestling Cards podcast with myself, Jack, and my good friend, Kev. Make sure you follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and on YouTube, and keep an eye out for the next upcoming episodes. And now a quick word from our sponsor, Wrestling Cards Worldwide.
Hi, I'm Michael, and I run Wrestling Cards Worldwide, and I'm proud to be associated with the Submit Wrestling Cards podcast. We've got thousands of cards and stickers from all different eras on the website, and if you check out the link on the podcast, they'll give you an exclusive discount code for the website.
Thank you very much, and until next time, bye.